What is up, everybody? It's Peaceful here. I'm going to try doing something a little different for you today. We're going to do a sort of a summary of what's going on this week in Snap. I'm going to try and give you my advice, what I think about new cards coming out, if I think you should invest in your Spotlight caches, that sort of thing. So let me know in the comments, please, if this is content that you like, that you want more of, or if this is something that you don't find very useful. Let me know that as well, honestly, because then I won't waste my time. But I thought this was something that I've seen some other creators do that can be really helpful. And I honestly think I got a lot to add, so we're gonna go ahead and try and see if I can help y'all out, kind of go through some things that are going on this week and give you some helpful pointers on what I would do. So here we go. First up, we're gonna talk about the new card this week in Marvel Snap. It is Mirage. She is a 2-cost, 2-power, and she has the on-reveal copy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand and give it plus 2 power. I think this card is awesome. It's like a smaller white queen, but it's got a little bit of an upside, right? Because you actually get to add the additional power to it. I think this card is extremely powerful. The biggest thing I think for this card is does it have a home, right? Is this enough to make the Nick Fury, Agent Coulson, Shield deck, Devil Dino, like, is it enough to push it over the top and make it meta and put it in a place with the other decks that are currently running the meta? I don't know about that, but I do think this is a super cool card. I think this is a pretty high power level card on its own. Information is just huge. That's why, you know, Spider-Ham right now is such a popular card. It's not just because it messes up their strategies, because it lets you know exactly what they're doing and what you don't have to play around. This gives you some sort of insight into what they're doing right away early in the game on turn 2, which is a huge boon for that deck and specifically. So I'm super excited about this card. This is one that I will be picking up. So next up, we got here the bundles for this week. So I wanted to go ahead and go over these for you and kind of give you my my opinions on whether they're worth it or not for you to invest your gold or your money in them. So first up is obviously Token Tuesday. We already know Token Tuesday, the rate's gotten a little bit worse. This one's actually surprisingly fine, right? And unless I'm crazy, it's actually back to more similar to the older rates. So I don't know if this is something they're just testing out to see if this one does better than the older ones. But the ones they've been doing, I've actually been passing on because the value just isn't there. So this one to me looks pretty good. 850 gold for 800 tokens, that seems like a pretty good rate. So unless the data mine's wrong and it ends up being a worse rate for this, I recommend picking this one up. July 31st, so starting on Tuesday, we also have the artist showcase for Rian Gonzales. I've got the variants here for you to see right behind me, right here above my head. There you go, see? You got Rescue and Scarlet Witch, and I mean, I'm a Rian Johnson fan. I'm going to be picking this up just based off of that. But let's kind of talk about the value. So for 2,500 gold, you get the Rescue and the Scarlet Witch variant. You get 3,500 credits, and then you get boosters to basically fully upgrade each of these cards once. So along with the avatars, like is always included in these bundles. So it's very mid as far as value. This is like pretty generic. Like you're not getting a ton of extra value here. The credits do help. So this is more about, do you want these variants? Because, you know, basically you're paying 100 gold for 3,500 credits if you like these variants, right? Because they'd be 1,200 each in the shop. If you think about it that way, a lot of time the Rian Johnson variants are the 1,200 credit. They're the premium variants. So you're basically paying 100 gold for 3,500 credits, which seems like a pretty good deal to me. And I would pick this up. I'm definitely going to pick this one up. So if you like these variants and you're going to use these variants when you play this card, which I definitely will, even though I do have a Scarlet Witch that I'm pretty fond of, this will definitely be my rescue of choice. I do think this is worth picking up. Last up this week, we do have, starting on the 5th of August, you have the second Pro Bundle. So for those of you who don't remember, this was the $100 bundle that just basically gave you a crap ton of credits and stuff to put into your cards, to kind of give you a boost up. So like if you were a new player but you're willing to spend money on the game, this was a really good way to get your collection sort of like supercharged, right? So the same thing here. For $100, you cannot use gold on this. You have to pay actual money. You get 5,000 collector's tokens, so almost enough for a Series 5 card. 11,000 credits, and then basically enough boosters to upgrade 5 different cards fully. And then obviously those are random, along with the title 100% beef, which, not gonna lie, kind of want it just for that title. It's a great title. And again, the question just comes to, are you willing to spend money on Snap? If you're willing to spend money on Snap and you spend a decent amount, this is a great thing to invest in. If you're someone who only buys certain bundles, you know, maybe you buy the season pass but not much else, then obviously this is something you're gonna have to pass on, because it is $100 But for the $100 that you spend, you do get a ton of value. So if that's worth it to you, pick it up. If not, if you're like me, I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I've got a pretty good collection. I don't really think I need this, but for those of you who maybe are a little bit newer to Snap, this is actually a pretty good deal. So, all right, next up, Spotlight Cash for this week. So obviously, one of the Spotlight Cash cards is going to be Mirage because she's the new card. And as well as that, we've also got Thanos and Master Mold. So I got the Spotlight variants up for you, but just as a little refresher, if you do not already own the card, you will get the base level card if you open that Spotlight with your cash, right? So if you open the Mirage Spotlight Cash and you don't already own Mirage, you will not get the Spotlight variant. You will get the standard Mirage base card, which is a good deal. And same thing for Thanos. If you don't have Thanos yet, you're going to get Thanos, but you're not going to get the Spotlight variant until you already own Thanos in your collection. And then Master Mold, same thing. So Mirage, Thanos, Master Mold, and then you also have the Mystery Series 4 or 5 card that if you already own when you open it, it is not duplicate protected. You will get 1,000 tokens, so 1,000 collector's tokens. So that's a Series 3 card if you're still looking for Series 3 cards, or that's 1,000 tokens towards another Series 4 or 5 card that you may want. So just keep that in mind when you're opening caches this week. If you want one of these cards, it's probably not a good idea to open just one Spotlight Cache because you're pretty unlikely to get it. But if you want all 3 of these cards, or maybe you have 2 of them, but you really like the Spotlight variants and then you want the other one, it's probably worth opening a couple Spotlight Caches. There's a really good write-up on Marvel Snap Zone that I highly recommend getting into if you want a little bit more information on this. But this is basically always my recommendation is don't open one Spotlight Cache if you only have one, if you only need one of the 4 things or one of the 3 things, because you're just very unlikely to get the one that you want. Think about that. I personally will be opening this week because this Thanos variant is so good. I actually am going to unfreeze my I have the ultimate variant for Thanos frozen in my shop. I'm actually going to unfreeze that and just pick up these Spotlight Caches and try and get this Thanos and this Master Mold, because these are by far my favorite variants for both those cards. And then this Mirage variant, I might actually pick her up with tokens because this Mirage variant is fire. Like, just look at it. No, seriously, just look. It's so good. All right, so that's it for the Spotlight Caches. Again, please be smart. Don't just open them willy-nilly. You're not gonna get what you want most of the time. You might get lucky one time, and that might kind of, blur your logic on it. But for the most part, unless you have multiple cards you want from the Spotlight Caches, don't be opening them on any given week. All right, we got a couple other things we're going to go over really quickly. This is the week 4 Infinity Conquest. So if you have some Infinity tickets, make sure you are playing Infinity Conquest this week. It's only 7 days, so this will be the end of this season for Conquest mode. So if you don't use your Infinity tickets this week, you will lose them. They go away. You do not get to carry them over till next month. So make sure you play any Infinity Conquest you've got saved up. Other than that, the feature location for this month or for this week is Machine World. So that'll be coming up this coming weekend. I honestly forget about these all the time now because I only play Conquest. So I try and do get my infinite run and ranked over before the feature location hits, so I don't even have to worry about it. But this week it will be Machine World, so be watching out for that. And then you got the new season coming up this week with the feature card Dakin. And then one of the variants that you will get is this Magneto that I got showing here. Dakin is a really cool card. He's a 3/4 that has on reveal add the Muramasa, I don't even know how to say that, Muramasa Shard to your hand. And that is a 1 cost, 1 power card that when it is discarded or destroyed, you double Dakin's power. I think this is a super cool card. I'm excited. I think this is one of the cooler season pass cards we've gotten this year, and we've gotten some pretty cool ones. So there's a lot of ways to really abuse this. First of all, it doubles his power. So even though he starts as a 4, if you have some way to buff him up, whether by in your hand with like Nakia or something like that, this does exponentially increase the amount of buffs you're going to get. Okay, so this is a really cool build around card and goes into both destroy and discard decks. So I highly recommend picking up this season pass this month if that is something that you sometimes do. I think the value you're going to get on this card is really good. Basically, even if you're just paying $10 for the Dakin card, you think about that's a Series 5 card here in a few months, so that's 6,000 tokens you're saving, and you just get an actual really good card plus a bunch of cool variants plus a bunch of gold and stuff like that. So definitely recommend. And that's really it I have for today. If there are other things you'd like to see me include in this next time, please let me know in the comments. Also, I just like to say that I am trying to grow my YouTube channel. And if you enjoy my content, if you like hanging out here, please like the video, comment in the comments, subscribe. Make sure you're following so that you get notifications when my videos go up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes more. So I really would appreciate if you could subscribe, like, comment, and do all that stuff. It really helps my videos get shown to more people. If it's something you enjoy, that would mean a lot. And I will see you Wednesday. Thank you so much.